Far south in the state of New York is the Catskill Mountains, a very popular region for those inclined to participate in outdoor activities such as hunting, fishing, hiking, and camping. In the small town of Roscoe, known also as Trout Town, USA for its abundance in fish to catch, is a camping location known as Russell Brook Campsites. Russell Brook has been around for over 40 years and has thrived as a business while other campsites around it have gone out of business. It is easy to see why these other campsites failed, as the town of Roscoe can be accurately identified as practically being in the middle of nowhere. The purpose of this study is to see how Russell Brook deals with its isolated and rural location as well as how it sustains itself. The person I interviewed is Terry Janis, the co-owner of Russell Brook Campsites. I have known Terry for a long time, but have never gone into in-depth questioning about her position until this study. Although we could not meet face-to-face for this interview, Terry was more than happy to answer my questions over the phone. I first asked Terry what her duties are. As co-owner of the campsites, Terry has a great deal of responsibility over them. It is her job to reserve sites for campers, go over bookwork, file taxes, market and promote the business, order supplies, schedule staff, run the on-site store, and plan events for the seasonal campers. Not only has Terry owned and run the campsites for most of her adult life, but she also grew up on property as her parents ran the place before her. I next asked Terry if she thought her business increases traffic in the town of Roscoe. She responded enthusiastically with a yes, that she has heard time and time again from business owners on Roscoe's Main Street that a lot of their business is done with the campers from her site. Her guests go out to town and do business with the diner, the outdoor shops, the supermarket, and the pizzeria. However, upon being asked, Terry told me she seldom interacts with the community outside of Chamber of Commerce meetings, and Russell Brook is a bit more independent from the rest of the businesses in Roscoe. I asked for Terry's opinions on tourism in her area next, and if she wanted to see more. Terry responded that although her business is doing fine, she would love to see more people come in, just as any other business owner would, she added, especially during slow times for business in the year. I inquired as to what times the traffic in her region was highest. She told me that it was very steady in the spring and fall, due in one part to hunters and fishers, and due in another part to families from the city who want to see the Catskills in the spring and fall. Summertime, Terry said, was their busiest time of the year due to the seasonals who come to camp in trailers for weeks. In the winter, the campsite closes. For my next question, which I thought would be most important, I asked Terry if she thinks establishing a tourist destination in a rural community is harder or easier than opening one in a suburban community. She immediately said harder. I asked her what challenges she faces in a rural community that she wouldn't have to face in a suburban one. As a comparison, Terry told me that if she opened her campsite out in a place like Hershey in Pennsylvania, she would have another draw to jump on instead of just camping, fishing, and hunting. She'd have Hershey Park. However, there is no such draw in Roscoe, just the promise of experiencing the pretty outdoors. She knows this is true, as she's noticed that business increases whenever the county fair comes into town. People will stay for about 7 nights when that's going on instead of the average 3 nights that they usually stay. If there was another attraction in town all year round, it would be easier to market, but since there is none, Terry is required to put in a lot more effort into bringing guests in. For my final question, I asked Terry what she would like to see in the future for her community in regards to tourism. She told me that there needs to be more attractions and variety out in the town, things for guests to do other than spend time outdoors should the need arise. She feels the town is too rural and could benefit from a movie theater or a bowling alley, the closest of these being at least 25 minutes away. Overall, I found Terry Janis to be a very smart businesswoman who has been able to keep her destination alive and thriving in a location that other businesses wouldn't be able to last in. It's only through hard work and a positive attitude that Terry is able to keep her business afloat in a community as rural as Roscoe. In my interview, I got to see how Terry feels about her community. I also got a glimpse of the challenges that Terry has to go through and what she'd like to see her community turn into in the upcoming future. Thank you.